So, good evening and welcome back, everybody who's still hanging out with us. Our brave investigators are still alive and pursuing the mystery of what has occurred to Mr. Harrington Vasquez. Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he a replicant? Is he a person that is having a psychotic outbreak? It's uncertain, but what is certain is that Mr. Vasquez some time ago had a massive accident whilst skiing in Switzerland. And all these got hushed away by somebody for some reason. And this information has made its way to our investigators, who are pondering what to do with this. And in their efforts to secure this data, they have cut a deal with a rather shady figure of the media world, the owner of the Kill magazine, which is very well renowned for having their views as human-centric and a bit racist and not quite colorful as they would be for the 21st century. So here we are. What are you guys doing after reading the contents of the file? Also, are you guys logging this data in your KIAs?
We had taken it to Holden and he told us that we had to.
And he
Yes.
said, go speak to Francisco.
Well, yes.
Jax just logs red journal, and that's about it.
Okay. Red journal. Fair enough. So, are you heading off to visit Francisco?
Yeah, I think so. There's a few questions we need to ask him.
Out of commission, who could answer the question? Or
Fair enough.
go ask Daddy.
Ask Daddy. That's a terrible expression, but okay. So this is Francisco. It's a very well kept gentleman.
Got daddy vibes.
Yeah, sugar daddy vibes, actually. He would be in his late 50s or 60s. One of the advantages of being very wealthy in the 21st century is that you can afford to pay life extension treatments. So he could be close to 100 years old, and you would be none the wiser because Botox is next level now.
They are very, very rich.
Yes, this is one of those guys that probably is sitting in the 1%. So you head over in the direction of Vascorp, which is the conglomerate or the entity that belongs to the Vasquez family, whose main task or main office, as it's declared, is the production of protein or synthetic protein in the nearby Vaesen area to Los Angeles. So you guys have gone to kill and you were back in your precinct, right?
Yep, that's correct.
So your precinct is, so this is where you guys are right now. Yep. So Vascorp is somewhere in here in the corporate sector, sector 4, which is in the midst of all the corporate sector. You can see the arcologies from Tyrell Corporation, which were massive. Those big pyramid with flat tops and edges of light that radiate in the night, and the perpetual storms that roll through the landscape of Los Angeles. And then in the back, you can see these massive megastructures being overshadowed by the 3 buildings that are the Wallace Corporation, which is the corporation that is run by Neander Wallace, who is the antagonist of Blade Runner 2049. and also happens to be the designer of the Nexus 9 lines. Okay. So as you guys go, roll me a percentile die, please.
One person.
Yeah.
I nominate Adam.
Damn it.
Adam, be the sacrificial lamb.
I am.
So if it goes wrong, we know who to blame.
Let's go. Oh, daddy.
Oh, 69. I have to say that nobody had rolled me a 69 in a chance roll before. Interesting.
Do we
Just
get
forgive me,
lucky?
Clara. Well, we got lucky.
Well,
Someone does.
Adam did because he's 69, but okay. Rude. As you guys are flying, your scanners, well, the electronic dispatcher said,
All units, all units, all units, acknowledge. Raid in progress in Sector 2, LA University. Expect a nest of replicant and replicant underground activity. If you happen to be in proximity, please assist on foot. Reinforce checkpoints on ground. If you are airborne at the moment, please maintain perimeter to ensure that no remnant elements are running away from the scene. The operation is under the command of Captain Travis. He is the CO for the duration of this until told otherwise. Please acknowledge.
Are we going to acknowledge? Are we going to this or going on our way?
They know we're up here. Kind of have to do it,
they do know.
They did say proceed on foot.
but we got to keep an air perimeter. And Francisco isn't a priority one. So this is going to take precedence. I'll flash a message to Pip and head out to work the perimeter.
Okay.
Like good little minions.
Yep. So you go and start just doing your labs, and you see these massive carriers coming flying, and it's literally a carrier. It's a very bulky element of roughly of the size of a ship, a small frigate, and with a bulk square compartment on the front and a small bridge in the back. And all the square boxy compartment, just the nose lifts, and you see how none of you served in the military, so you would know only the civilian model. The civilian model, just the nose lifts and short range spinners come out and basically deploy at high speed. The military model doesn't open the front, it opens at the bottom, and it's just drop ships. But yeah, they're using a civilian one, and you see in the distance a figure heavily armored with no helmet, just shouting at people and kicking somebody in the ass. Get moving! You can recognize it by the demeanor.
Yeah. Travis is still an ass.
Oh, yes, it's a way of living. So you guys are in your spinners. Now, what are you guys going to be doing?
I think just maintaining that perimeter, but
Okay.
probably closest to where we need to be to go see Francisco. So if we get waved off, we can get in that direction.
So you guys are somewhere in this area.
Yeah.
All right. Who is driving in each one of the spinners?
Not Pip.
All right, I'm driving.
And I'm driving.
So Marcus and Catherine. So, and the co-pilots, what are you guys doing? Are you guys actively looking or just fiddling with the radio, making sure that the driver has snacks and drinks and...
Definitely, Jax will be actively watching the crowd and looking to see what's happening.
Okay. So Jax, make me an observation roll. And Pip, what you would be doing.
Pip would be looking, but grumbling about it.
Okay.
It would be a lot of commentary on the wasted time and effort and energy.
Like
So
you've been
you-
doing this your whole life.
So you're half-assed looking and like, Doing this. Rah, 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 rah. Okay. Make a roll with disadvantage since you're so enthused of.
Observation with disadvantage?
Yeah.
See nothing.
Nothing.
Both of you see nothing, yeah.
Okay. So at some point, you all get flagged in your KIAs a note to increase your altitude by 100 meters from the standing positions, as there are suspicions that there are explosives armed in this. So they're going to drop an EMP pulse, a small EMP pulse that will fry whatever is on the ground, and then they're going to win hot. And you guys have heard how this usually goes when they decide to take this sort of approach. It usually turns into a bloodbath because it's pretty much scorched earth. And there are even rumors that some humans have been caught up in the crossfire, but because of the Replicant Act, everybody gets flagged as replicant or replicant sympathizers, and everything just gets thrown into the same bucket and let get sort them out. So you increase your altitude, and you see from the carrier a cannon protrudes and fires something towards the ground. And as it impacts below where you are, you see the haze of a blue spark just go off, radiates, and dissipates. And for about 5 to 10 blocks, everything loses power. You hear the screaming coming from the streets, as this, for some of the older people, this would have been something that they have experienced already. They lived through the crash, which was the same thing that has occurred, but as a massive scale. And immediately after this, you see all the monocarriers just drop very fast, and you start hearing gunfire. And a couple of minutes, the overall vibe is more of one of those war zones that you sometimes hear about in the Holo News that exists somewhere in the colonies rather than Los Angeles. And it keeps on going and going and going, and you're screaming, and then you hear nothing other than gunshots. And then both of your KIAs flash out. The bolo alert that there is for Harrington baskets has pinged
You're shitting me. Where?
somewhere around here. The Esper system picked it up in a camera in close proximity of Bascorp.
That's not far from us.
No. But you're all part of an active operation. So what are you gonna do?
Pip, do you want to go investigate that ping?
What a pity that we were a little too close to that EMP. We're gonna have to break off and find a mechanic.
If you were too close to the EMP, you would be on the ground as a smoldering wreck.
She's just going to bullshit her way. We're having mechanical problems.
I think that's a great idea.
It's completely and utter bullshit, and I don't think she's even trying to be convincing to the radio operator.
Yeah.
So just a mayday.
Yeah. The dispatcher says,
Okay, return to base ASAP if you're losing altitude too fast. Mark your location and send out a distress call, and we'll send somebody out to pick you up.
Tell me your nav computer's gone all glitchy too. You don't know which way is north and south.
yeah. So you are heading in the direction of that. So you guys turn tail and start going towards the luminous columns of the corporate area.
I was going to stay back. I don't mind one car getting cut from the cordon, but two's a lot.
Okay.
I might hang back for a little bit, make sure Travis has got things under control before we bug out and help Marcus.
Well, he is not giving any indications to anybody. So you know that he would be in the front line just shooting.
Yeah.
Then,
I might hang for about 10 minutes and just see which way the tide turns. And then I might feign engine trouble.
sure.
You all right with that, Adam?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you guys go for another 10 minutes. Several of the other patrol cars are texting the consoles like, I'm still maintaining position, what's happening? And what the dispatcher is saying that because of the after effect of the EMP, communication on ground is kind of limited, so they're restricted to hotline usage. But there is an ongoing operation until called otherwise. So you guys are still tasked to it.
I don't want to leave unless I get another vehicle to monitor my spot, basically.
Yeah. Well, you could requisition somebody to come over and see if there's anybody available or
Yep.
willing to take the post.
Donuts? Donuts and coffee for a month.
Yeah.
Good way to make some money. Just
Oh, are you
cut
going to
circles in the sky.
are you going to offer money to your colleagues
No,
to
I
come
don't
and
think
cover you?
it's a good way to make easy money.
Remind them it will be overtime if they go past their shift.
Exactly.
Make a manipulation check.
Don't wanna?
No.
Nice.
Yes, success, baby.
A couple of beat cops that are about to finish their shift, they're saying, "Yep, all right, we'll take the post, but you owe us a favor."
Absolutely. Thank you, gentlemen.
10 minutes later, they turned up, so you guys are 20 to half an hour behind Pip and Marcus.
Yep.
So Pip and Marcus, what are you doing in the interim?
Looking for this guy and actually looking this time.
Okay. So you cannot use the Esper system from here. Basically, you are on a static position. But based on the location, you can assume roughly where he is going.
We would have a look at the map, check out the direction he's going and what the possible objective is.
So he was picked up somewhere here, and Bascorp is here. So less than 1 kilometer from Bascorp, he was picked up. If he was part of the nest of replicants that was hiding, it was here. So that would make him traveling in this direction.
The corporation headquarters.
Yep.
So we go to the corporation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You head out to the corporation. The traffic operator of the corporation said, this is Vascorp airspace, inbound vehicle, identify, please.
Identify ourselves and to say we have reason to believe that there is a fugitive incoming from the current operation.
A fugitive. Which operation is what sort of credentials do you have? Who are you? Are you private contractors?
This is LAPD.
Hold pattern for a second, please. And he closes the channel. A couple of minutes later, comes back and said, what is your purpose within the building? Are you calling a strike force on the building, or what are you here for? I got my supervisor here with me. We're trying to decide what's the best way to assist you.
We are just checking to see if the person of interest has been seen in the vicinity. They were heading in this direction.
Okay, we are going to put our building in lockdown and liaising with your Esper system. So you have access to our camera feeds in real time. And anything else?
Would like permission to land, please.
What purpose?
Mechanical trouble.
Your vehicle seems to be flying okay.
We need emergency landing.
Make a roll. These are not your usual idiots that, okay, yes, we're going to eat it, whatever you say. Manipulation roll.
Ooh.
That is looking like a botch.
I'll push it.
Okay.
Double botch.
It's not looking better.
Horrible.
You hear a different voice. Listen, son, I don't know what game you're trying to play here, but we don't want you here, and we're being cooperative with services of LAPD in the prosecution of suspects. Our building is in lockdown. There is no clear or present danger in our location, so there is no reason for you to come sniffing around for something that is not here. So unless you give me an actual reason why you need to land, I suggest you skedaddle.
Yeah, there's a couple of replicants wearing the faces of your board members right now.
Make a manipulation roll with disadvantage. Apologies, your transmission is not coming clear. We will be closing the channel. It seems that the EMP is interfering.
Pip, I think we should just land anyway. What do you think?
They're hiding something. They know something.
All right. I'll feign that we're having mechanical issues and actually land.
When you are doing the approach, something flicks on the dashboard and it says target locked on.
How far are we above the headquarters, are we?
You're still about 1 kilometer. So somebody's targeting you and they have you locked in.
Let's see. Okay, we can just continue to fly in and risk getting blown out of the sky, or call for backup. What do you think, Pip?
I think we're gonna have to call this in and drop really quickly.
Okay.
These things come with parachutes, don't they?
No.
You.
Gravity
Evasive
is
measures?
not your friend.
But it's get on the ground really quick.
Yeah, we'll just try to drop as quickly as we can, and I think our vehicle has a. Does it have that drone thing on the top, like in the films?
No.
Or no? Okay.
You got
right.
you got flares and chaff.
Oh, okay.
That's helpful.
All right. We'll have to put the flares and chaff on standby, and then just drop and make our approach.
Okay, so you guys are going to keep on going. A couple of things that they were not really noticed. You see a SAM battery just prop up from the rooftop, and a couple of the spars, you see them correct and lock in the position, and they're tracking the movement of the spinner. And you see the little dots of red light just propping off the mounts.
Should I just open a channel and just? Well, am I allowed to open a channel anyway, or have they jamming or transmissions?
So what are you gonna try to do?
I'll just say that there are LAPD officers on this vehicle. Any attack on it will be attack on the entire LAPD.
Okay. LAPD, you are trespassing on corporate's airspace. You have not been granted to approach, and you're using false arguments to gain access to it. Under corporate charter, you are violating sovereign space. Henceforth, you are liable of receive military actions. Proceed at your own peril.
I would say that failure to aid a vehicle in distress is also a violation of the law. Threatening.
That was a warning shot. There will not be another one.
What do you think, Pip? Should we go out in a blaze of glory?
I say we drop down to the ground and maybe this ongoing operation could be of a little bit of use to us. We tune into the radio. Has there been any radio chatter about the status of that operation?
None.
But if we were to radio in that we've spotted a fugitive and are in pursuit.
Make a manipulation roll.
Okay. I'm
Push
gonna
it.
push that one.
Yeah.
No,
Ah, still nothing. God damn it.
still nothing.
The dispatch officers.
Who is this? Report. Why are you reporting from outside your area of operations? You reported mechanical failure, and yet you seem to be hovering around a corporation that has called hostile maneuvering against you.
We spotted Harrington
In the building,
heading to the building.
but not in the building. And there is nothing in the system that suggests that he is in there. Why have you deserted your position? Return to base.
Ugh.
You're being benched.
Fine. When the rest of the family ends up dead, it's on you.
So I cut off that that line, and so we're going in, Pip.
You've been recalled to base.
No, I feel like Marcus is kind of near retirement anyway. He doesn't really care at this point.
I was like, you've already broken so many requests. What's one more?
Yeah, one more for the road. But
Okay.
are you with me, Pip?
Get the bastard.
Deploy chaff and flares and head on down.
Okay. So they're going to open fire at you. So I'm going to make 2 shots.
Ooh, ow. That's going to leave a mark.
So that's the first one. So you angle down, and the moment that you start picking up speed, you feel how a blaze of fire just rolls through the side of the vehicle, and everything starts flashing red in your body. And
Mechanical issues.
We were right all along.
let's see how goes the second one.
Oh, shit. So 2 successes for the first roll, and now 3 successes for the second. Oh,
Can you push it?
no. We don't want him put.
I could push it, but I don't think that is in your best interest.
It was a good run. We're all dead now.
You're just going to
You
crash
might have got close enough to just crash land, yeah.
Well, that's assuming that they don't get vaporized. So let's see how many hit points has a spinner.
The correct answer is all of them.
The correct answer is holy moly. So you have a whole of 5. So I can tell you right now that your spinner is dead. Because in raw successes, I have 5 successes. Okay, you need to make 2 rolls of armor.
Okay.
1. So the first one, so that's 4 points of hull.
So we're hanging on. Is that?
So everything is flashing in red by the time it finishes. And the second one was 6 points of damage. So make an armor 2d8 and roll good. Otherwise, this is going to be like
Good night.
fiery.
Fiery death ball.
Yeah, let's see if we can make some fireworks in the sky, for New Year's Day.
1 success.
You break it, you buy it, right?
Yeah, something like that. Roll me 1d100. 54. Okay. So what happens is the first one just wreck your stabilizers, and you see how the spinner starts veering in, and the second one just shoots through your engine block, and you start free falling, literally against the building.
At the rooftop of the building, or
No, not even at the rooftop. You're just
Side
going
of the
through the side of the building.
One way to gain entry. Knock knock, Avon calling.
So I am going to need both of you to make 2 rolls. One is going to be an agility roll to get out of the vehicle after impact. So mobility roll, make me a mobility roll.
Nice one.
So Marcus
yes,
is
Hey,
oldie but nimble. Pip is
Not as nimble, but nimble enough.
trailing behind. And this thing is going to explode.
so is that 2 spinners down in your career, Pip?
Yeah.
You're driving this one.
Oh yeah. All right, so that's 1 on me. 1 on me. Okay, I got it. This is the second time my clothing is aflame.
We just can't make it through a campaign without somebody losing their jacket, can we?
Apparently not.
So you manage to disentangle yourself from the wreckage of the spinner. The spinner is just crackling and arcing, and you see a small fire that is starting to spread out, and it ignites the source of fuel. So you guys are starting to make your way out. Okay. Are you guys wearing armor?
No.
Nope, I've just got the standard setup.
Vest or anything? No?
Yeah, my sheet says no.
Nope,
Okay.
I've got a badge on, so that might deflect something.
No. The badge doesn't have magical properties, no.
no resistance to fire.
No. So the spinner explodes and blows out, and both of you are going to take 3 health and 1 crit. How about you roll me at 1d12?
Also, if you die, it's your fault.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Then roll 12.
He rolled the 12.
Again, please.
It's amazing.
The GM's like, not like this.
Yes.
4.
Okay, 4. That's better. So when the explosion goes off, you're sent off flying, and as you're landing down, your left eye or the left side of your face slams against a desk, and you feel the edge of the wood just go inside your eye.
Ooh.
Painful.
So you have a condition called gouged eye, and you will have it until you get,
Cybernetic replacement.
yes. So gouged eye, you have disadvantages to firearms and observation. Okay.
Got it.
Beep.
Not good for the upcoming firefight.
Roll a d12 to
Oh.
Oh, he's a dead eye. Sorry.
6.
6.
You guys are doing great.
The dice love me. No, wait, the other one.
Same thing, you get blown out and you smack your head hard against the wall. You are concussed. You have disadvantage to observations and tech. Basically, your brain is not working as it should. And we cut to Naomi and Adam. So as you are leaving after your replacement flies in, you can see in the distance a couple of bursts of fire and something lights up in the sky, and then it falls against the building, and the secondary explosion.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's not good. I'm gonna call dispatch.
Holden said don't blow him up.
Yeah, well. Dispatch? I just think I saw a spinner come out of the sky. Do you know anything about that?
Yes. Your colleagues, Pip and Marcus, just tried to gain unlawful access to a corporation, and the corporation opened fire on them. State breach. They used the airspace without permission.
You want
Why
us
would
to...
they do that?
Because their airspace is considered private?
No, why would they try to breach the space?
I wouldn't know. All of their arguments were lies, so we don't know what's afoot. We're as confused as you are.
Sorry, I must have pressed the wrong control button. I wasn't talking to you. I'm sorry.
Do we have permission to clear from this and head down to investigate?
Yes, proceed. We advise that the corporation is on high alert, and they have advised that if any representatives wish to gain access, it will only be allowed on foot and under supervision.
Received. Looks like we're going in the front door. Yep.
We're
and
going to go the same place they just blew up.
Yeah, same building,
Oh
but we're
my
gonna
god.
knock.
You better.
I'm not landing on the roof. I'm landing on the ground and walking up to the building.
Okay.
So yes,
Mark,
I
can
think
we get Marcus or Pip on the communication somehow? Can they hear us?
They're down.
No personal mics, radios, nothing's working.
No. For the time being, both are suffering from concussions and head injuries, so they're a bit indisposed at the moment. So as you make your way in, you can see some other vehicles of public service also coming close, like a fire engine, a spinner. They're allowed to come up until a certain distance and then foam up the things, but they're not allowed to land. And when you are within range of the designated threshold space, air control radios to you. Are you the detectives from LAPD?
yes, we are. We're just about to land, and we'll approach the front door.
And they lit up a pad outside the building in the ground level. Please do not deviate.
Nope. We saw what happened to the last one that deviated. So yeah, land the spinner.
So you land the spinner, and as you land, you see that there is a woman with a number of soldiers just geared up. And he said, good. Seems that you are more capable of understanding than your colleagues before. Please accompany me.
Of course. I'll look at Jax. You're good.
Yep.
All right.
Bit nervous, but good.
Keep your hand away from your firearm unless you're going to use it. These people have itchy trigger fingers.
They're like different versions of Travis and their friends.
Let's
Yeah.
not give them an excuse. So yes, jump out and we'll follow.
They take you into the lobby. The lobby is this magnificent construction of marble and metal that it seems eerily empty. It's so empty that you can almost hear the whirring of the cameras as they move and track you as you go in.
Is this what I would expect? Like, would I expect more life to be in these buildings, or is
Absolutely. It's pretty much all the corporations work 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be more people around here, and most definitely, yeah, not only military personnel. So you guys are escorted to an elevator, and it's a bit awkward because there's like 6 guys in power armor with heavy assault rifles, you two, and this woman in their immaculate corporate dress just in front of the whole parade. Do you guys do anything?
Actually, we were planning to come here anyway. We were hoping to organize a meeting with Francisco Vasquez.
Right. For what purpose?
Right. For what purpose?
Harrington?
I believe Mr. Harrington has disappeared. Or is there any developments in the case?
I believe Mr. Harrington has disappeared. Are there any developments in the case? I believe Mr. Harrington has disappeared. Are there any developments in the case?
There are some, but they are of a personal nature, which is why we would like very much to speak to Francisco. Maybe you can help facilitate that.
Well, you might be in luck.
Well, you might be in luck. Well, you might be in luck.
As he has requested that you are brought to him.
As he has requested that you are brought to him. As he has requested that you are brought to him.
And my other two compatriots?
They're being taken care of.
They're being taken care of. They're being taken care of.
Hang on, there is care of and care of. Which sort of care of is it?
She doesn't reply.
What can I read of her?
Don't know.
Can I read her? Or is she totally stonewalling me?
She's not even looking at you, so she's not giving you much to go. So you could try to read her from looking at her back. That would be a rather onerous role.
Abysmal roll. Let's keep those abysmal rolls for when I need them.
Okay.
So yes, I'm looking forward to actually speaking to Detectives Yardley and Ma, because obviously they're going to be disciplinary charges as a result of this, and we want to make this good.
We've already lodged a lawsuit with the city.
You don't waste any time.
Time is money, officer, and we are not
Truthful.
in a business of losing, especially because of rogue agents.
Tell me, why is the building so empty?
We advised that we had evacuated the building as there was a terrorist threat.
Okay.
Your colleagues, on their initial approach, insinuated that there was a terrorist threat to the facility as a side effect of the military action that one of your units was conducting in proximity. And there was rogue elements in approach to the corporation. So we evacuated the facility and only military personnel and essentials remain in the building. And after this, they proceed with a series of lies and misdirections to try to gain unlawful access. And when this failed, they resorted to try to force their way into the premises, which ended up the way that you have been advised.
Yes, they are determined, if nothing more.
I wouldn't use that word, but okay. We are here. You feel how the elevator decelerates and the doors open to a very big office. Think about 10 meters of empty space. Literally, there is nothing other than a couple of chairs and a big desk and a man on the other side of the desk, sitting just observing the night sky and the skyline of the city whilst having a drink and a cigar. And he looks in your direction and makes a computer motion, and the woman and the guards start mobilizing, and you feel a gentle but solid enough nudge to move, prisoner.
Take exception to that. We'll move forward. Not here to create a scene. Not yet. There's time enough for that.
Jax is just taking cues at the moment from Catherine. Following.
Yep.
I was trying to take cues from you.
Oh no, this is
Okay.
bad.
This is going to go great.
Yeah.
Mr. Vasquez?
Officers, nice of you to call in. How can we assist you?
Well, two things now, I guess. Officers Yardley and Ma, who I believe may be trapped on a floor above us somewhere?
No, they are no longer there.
No?
Can we take them back with us?
No,
So you mean not at the moment?
no.
Out of character. Can they do that?
When the world changed and the private corporations pretty much start running the government. When you're dealing with a corporation, you're dealing with a small governmental entity.
And they'd be willing to
So-
take on the LAPD.
They could. It's not one of those things that happens all the time, but if there is enough elements that warrant active violence, as it has occurred, it would look very bad on the corporation to let themselves be work covered by a public service. It will actually be the laughing matter for everybody in the corporate space.
Well, in that case, we wanted to speak to you about your son, Harrington.
Have you found him?
Yes, twice, it seems.
Care to elaborate, Detective?
Do you want to do this in private or with the whole crew?
They're fine. They get paid well enough to not take interest on the conversations. And Lara has been working with me for years. Hell, she knows my kids better than I do.
Well, as you're aware, we found a body of Harrington at Ganymede Station, apparently crushed under a rubble pile.
Mm-hmm.
We conducted further investigations, and at the same time, Harrington Vasquez was also here on Earth, where he shot his wife.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But let's cut to the chase. But that Vasquez fled the scene. So now we have two.
Allegedly.
No. We saw him. I'm not playing games either, Mr. Vasquez. I saw him.
My son has a very long history of psychiatric incidents under great stress.
That may be so, but it still does explain why there are two Harringtons.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but clearly one of them is a copy.
Yes. One's the original, and we think that was the one in Ganymede.
What makes you say that?
What does make us say that? Something to do with a ski accident?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna look at Jax. You wanna... What do you remember?
Not much, that there was a ski accident and nobody really knows about it, but we have it documented. What do you know about it?
I know nothing about it. As a matter of fact, I don't believe such thing exists in the public record, so it's probably hearsay.
So if you don't know about it, but you do know it doesn't exist in the public record, then what do you know about it?
I know nothing because it doesn't exist.
Can I run an insight check on him?
Sure, you can.
Because something's not ringing right to me.
What does that mean?
That's a success and a botch at the same time.
It's still a success. Say that this is a success with a concept, or a partial success, or success with a complication. Look, before I can tell you a couple of things of my son. Before he actually decided to embrace a more productive facet of his life, he was a very troubled young man. And he has a very private but documented history of going in and out of rehab facilities, and worked with different psychiatrists all over the globe and in the colonies where he was stationed when he was a test pilot. But he managed to overcome his demons and become a productive member of society. Now, and he motions towards Lara and extends one hand in her direction. And she produces a folder from somewhere in the desk and hands it to him. Over the last couple of weeks, with the upcoming vote, we start seeing something strange some rather perturbing habits coming back to life on him. And he pushes the folder in your direction. And what do?
I will very carefully, very calmly keep my hands down. I'll step forward and take the folder.
Yep, there is a number of photographs that you can tell that have been taken from a long distance, probably via drone or a teleobjective of long reach, where you can see Harrington Vasquez very dressed down, just transacting with somewhat dodgy personnel on the streets and getting eye drops or deals or different narcotics and imbibing them, and then looking a bit wasted or worse for wear and coming back home. And in one of the last pictures, he appears to be acquiring a firearm.
Can we make out what the firearm is?
Yep, it's quite distinguishable. It looks like one of the old service guns for the Blade Runner division.
Kind of what was used to kill the
Yes.
the mother and
Yeah.
Well, that marries up with what we understand has happened.
Now, this is where everything gets complicated. I'm not one to speak bad of the dead, but my daughter-in-law had radical, extreme views on replicants. Previously to these last couple of weeks, Harrington has always been very outspoken advocate of replicant rights, or had been, but something shifted. Coincidentally, around this same time span is when that started happening. So I do believe that my son may have been replaced by a replicant in the last couple of weeks.
How do you think this second replicant was made?
You can just go across the road and commission one, in case you haven't noticed.
But Harrington?
Are you aware of how replicants are made, detective?
Well, I think I went over that in class.
All what you need is some genetic sample material.
Yes. So, here we are. Any
Yes.
thoughts? Any thoughts, Jax?
I think that's when it confirms and fixes a couple of gaps in our investigations. We can take our two detective friends with us and leave now, if that's okay.
Oh, actually, no, there's one thing. Harrington
One thing.
was seen in the vicinity of this building not too long ago, maybe about 40 minutes ago. He may be coming here, which is why my colleagues tried to come here as well.
If that was the case, why didn't they disclose this up front?
We've been told to maintain a veil of secrecy over this investigation because of its sensitivities. I'm sure you can understand.
Well, no, actually, that sounds not very smart, taking into account that related to this individual, but more so, it's not a need to know basis. If the individual that you're looking for is a known, well, allegedly felon, and a violent one, if I may add.
Yes, but he's still, in the eyes of the world, your son. He may not be, he may be just a replicant, but in the eyes of the world, and he's been pushing for a political nomination. And I presume you've been backing him on that platform?
No, I have to say that his political career has not much to do with me.
Who has been guiding him with that? Because from a nothing, he became incredibly popular very quickly. He was well managed. Or is this a question I should ask Lara?
To be quite honest, politicians are very useless. They're like great horses. They're good to show. When it comes, they're not. They're a rather costly investment. just for looks. I didn't build this throwing money at shiny stuff. And sure, Harrington may have done a career this, but not because I wanted to. If it was up to me, I would have used his connections to leverage contracts in industries that he had ties with, such as military or off-world corporations that wanted to endorse him. Alas, it didn't came to happen, so he took politics, and I kept on working to leave a decent heritage to my grandsons, granddaughters.
Do you know who has been guiding him then?
Not really. That would have been a question more for his wife, but I believe that question is rather impossible to ask right now.
Indeed.
But as far as I know, his wife comes from old money too.
If there's nothing further?
I don't believe so, unless you have anything else to add.
No. I still would like to go and take my colleagues home.
I'm pretty sure you would, but without a voucher of reparation from the local government, I don't think that would be happening. Also, if I may ask, what model are you?
I'm sorry.
Well, you are a replicant, aren't you?
Why would you ask such a thing?
No reason. My apologies.
Just think that's fun lobbing a nuclear grenade like that into a room?
No, but again, as you said, we're not in the time of subtleties, so I have to make some calls.
Is he trying to throw me off my game? Can I do an insight check? Because I'm wondering if he's trying to throw me off my game so I can't read him when he's trying to lie to me as well.
Make an insight check.
Double success.
Well done. Hold that thought.
Great. Probably rolled some dice. I hate that.
You're not sure. He is clearly a very self-assured man, and it looks like he's actually enjoying the conversation. He's not one to... It's one of those people that doesn't get talk back quite often, but he holds no punches when he's interacting with anybody.
God damn it. Don't know if he's lying to me or not. Any other questions I can ask, or you can ask Adam? What do you think?
Should we, with all the commotion that's going on and him being sighted so close, should we take a look around, make sure he's not here, give you guys a hand?
I'll let Jax ask his question.
So what are you asking, Adam?
If you'd like us to assist with securing the perimeter and the property.
No, thank you. We got it covered.
And what kind of reparations are you expecting from the city?
Oh, a couple of millions.
Is that a lot?
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Probably he's going to rebuild a new wing with the settlement money.
Now, I really must insist that Officers Yardley and Ma be returned to us. You know who they are. You've launched your legal proceedings. It
It won't affect them.
It does not do you any good to keep them in your custody, and we'll get out of your hair. Otherwise, you'll have to feed them and look after them, and we can do that at our own cost. And what does it matter? We'll take them off your hands.
Oh, please. Don't try to paint it as if you're doing me a favor, when it's pretty self-serving.
Oh, you don't know, Pip. I will be doing you a favor.
Jax is just nodding.
Scarred expression on his face.
I will be returned to the LAPD Central Dispatch in a couple of hours, after they have been processed. Also, they had some injuries resulting of their daring attempt to breach the building, which was rather unfortunate.
All right. I look forward to seeing them in a couple of hours.
Injuries are okay. That means they're alive.
Thank you, Mr. Vasquez, for your time.
Mhm.
And please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'll go to turn, take a couple steps towards the door. What more question? On the whole replicant's right bill, where do you stand?
I don't care.
Interesting.
Do you vote on it or abstain?
Have no use for it. It's cheaper for me to work with humans. Humans, you can work them until they die. Replicants come with an expiry.
Good luck with your business.
You ask.
I did, and you'll be most insightful. And now it's time, I think, we get the hell out of Dodge.
You're escorted back down all the way. Lara is with you. When you get to your spinner, there is a message from Captain Holden. Return to base immediately.
Alright, do what the boss wants.
Yep, fly back. You made it to base. And just as you are making it back to base, you see also that another spinner is flying back. And the spinner is flanked by 2 or 3 media cars.
Is Marcus talking through the windows to them?
No, not yet. That we know of.
Yeah.
And the spinner that is sort of the armored car just parks on the roof and waits until all the media is positioned in orbit. And it's one of the representatives of Vascorp. It's actually Lara. As we are returning the offending officers from LAPD that brazenly tried to gain access using subterfuge and lies for personal reasons, non-disclosed at this stage by LAPD or themselves. We have presented in courts for reparations and damages. Thankfully, no human life was lost due to their brazen attempt. However, significant monetary losses have been incurred due to them, not only for Vascorp, but also for LAPD. So here you have LA Finest. And they open the door and you see Marcus comes out with a bandage that is covering one of her eyes. And Pip is in a wheelchair and she looks a bit out of it.
At least they're back.
And they let them walk to the middle of the platform. They pack up. You can see the flashes from the media. One of the hover cameras just looking at from 360 and they leave. And you can see Holden standing in the doorway to the airfield. Turns around and gets back into the building.
Okay.
Pip, I get the feeling that we might be getting some noodles for Holden for the rest of his life, maybe.
Rest of our lives, you mean?
Oh yeah, rest of our life. Yeah. How are you going? How's your head?
They gave you something good, so you actually don't feel pretty much nothing. Like probably they give you the highest thing they can give you without becoming illegal.
It's the good stuff.
Yeah. This is what happens when you have private insurance in the future.
And private security.
Yes, that too.
And when the corporation doesn't actually want you speaking and saying, well, yes, we were tracking a fugitive. There's a replica. They didn't
yeah.
believe.
Yeah. That was a strange move, but okay. Let's go with the flow. You enter the bullpen where all the detectives are, and the moment that you step in, everybody just gets quiet. And they see you walk from the entry base all the way to Holden's office. Nobody's the same.
Awkward. We'll go to Holden's office as well. We've been summoned, so.
Holden is sitting there. He has lit up a cigar. He's waiting. Pip and Marcus, you've made a royal mess out of things. Anything that you care to say before I tell you what the mayor has conveyed to me, as well as the police chief?
Harrington was spotted heading towards the Vasquez Corporation.
Do you have an expert confirmation that he was sighted within the premises? No.
Whilst we were tracking him, he was headed in that direction. It seemed obvious that was the target.
Okay. Did you communicate this to them?
We communicated that there was a fugitive headed in their direction, yes.
And they put the facility in lockdown, which is a standard protocol. One thing is being discreet. The other one is withholding information, especially when there has been several dead members of a family closely tied to the same corporation. To the point that actually they may think that somebody is trying to take off the CEO of it.
We warned them that there was every chance that members of their board had been replaced with replicants.
Do you have any evidence of this? Anything that can substantiate this?
We have a dead Harrington and a live Harrington.
But you have no case or proof or anything that can remotely smell like what you're trying to say. There is a difference between having a stature that allows us to operate with a free hand and abusing it. And there is an even bigger gap between abusing it and utilizing governmental property to ram into a building.
Didn't ram into the building, mechanical problems. We reported it, sir.
Which are bullshit. We can read your systems from here.
Data the spinner would say otherwise.
Maybe you can try to be as clever as you want on your own time. When you're on my time, I expect you to follow orders. So, thanks to the mess that has been created, this is what's going to happen. This investigation is going to be closed. Whatever resources the government could have had for this, they are going to the reparation fund that we're going to have to pay in the tens of thousands of whatever currency they would use in corporate. Marcus and Pip, you're fired.
Boss, let's not be hasty.
No. What I was suggested to do was to send them off planet to a penal facility. And I have to say that I am not completely against the idea.
Alright, they fucked up, but they went in there with the right intentions.
No. There is a big gulf between doing what you want and meaning well. Both of you willfully abandon your position, lying to your colleagues.
But they didn't lie to us.
Not to you. Central Dispatch. Nobody is particularly enthused about doing blockade jobs, but it's part of what we have to do in order to make sure that these scheme jobs don't slip through our fingers. And this case is done by Toxic, a very high-profile figure. We don't know if it's a replicant or a man having an episode, or worse yet, a copy of something else, because we are unable to establish if this is a person or a replicant. And this is the worst part. We may never get to establish it.
If you close down the investigation, no.
No, that's not why I'm closing the investigation. The only base piece of evidence that we had that had not been altered since its discovery doesn't exist anymore.
What do you mean?
The corpse that was being brought from Ganymedes, the frigate that was bringing it in, caught fire upon the entry of atmosphere.
Oh, come on. You know that was deliberate.
And what can I do? Any leads that we could have had, any potential suspects, even those papers that you miraculously produced from somewhere are absolutely worthless now. You rear up your head too much, whomever was on the other side of the chessboard got cut of it and reacted with very, very decisive blow.
So
Once
close.
again, we are left outside with our ass hanging in the air.
Boss, we can't let these corporations win all the time. We need to investigate this freighter fire. You can do
it. You are this close of me throwing you into the break.
Oh, I need a wash anyway.
You need to go to a hospital.
Yeah, I can't really see very clearly out of this eye.
You have no depth perception. You're like...
I'm like turning my head slightly to see him with my good eye.
Yeah. You know what I think it is? I don't even think it's a corporation. These guys have absolute, or this vast corp. He may be a tyrant, but he's a smart tyrant. There is nothing that they would have done from their end that may justify this. And he may be onto something with the wife. However, whomever was behind this has gone to the ground. We have nobody to investigate. And our primary suspect is out in the wind. And we'll be lucky if he turns up dead sometime in the next couple of weeks. Is there any leads that you have that we are unaware that could be pursued?
No, boss, you know what we know. Is there any leads? Or am I missing something? No, nothing from the peanut gallery. I'm good.
Pip and Marcus, clean up your stuff. The rest of you, I'll wait for you tomorrow morning. Might get you reassigned. So, by the time you exit the office, you see that the bullpen has miraculously cleared out of everybody. You know, it's usual to hear Holden shouting and raising the tone of his voice, but when he goes quiet, you know that you're really in deep shit. So everybody was scattered.
Well, I'll start getting a cardboard box and putting my pot plant in.
Yeah.
And the various crap that's on my desk.
Pip will just clean out her desk and send a message to a certain scandal sheet editor going, "We've got an exclusive for you."
Are we getting jobs at Kill Magazine? Is that the plan?
Oh, she's giving him a hell of a story, though.
He replies back, meet me at the Viper Beach, because I've been given an exclusive on something else too.
Oh, the Viper Pit again.
Always go, you've been banned. You party animal, you.
That wasn't the reason Pip was banned.
Oh, I know. He doesn't have to know that.
Yeah, okay. She's already got a concussion. She can either end up dead or creating a lovely, lovely, lovely mess for public relations and Vasquez Corporation and everyone else to clean up.
Okay. You pick up your gear, you left the building. Nobody really says goodbye or anything. Like,
Oh, it would be.
oh, of the other people in the floor,
Oh, yeah, no.
everyone like, you guys are toxic. So, Pip, are you gonna cut Marcus with you to talk with this guy or no?
She's gonna tell him going, I am going to make a hell of a mess. You can join me if you want.
I think that's a pretty good idea. I still need a job after all, so let's see how much we can sell this information for.
The guy is there with a couple of other fellas. They're like, oh, detectives, come in, come in. The music is loud. The place is quite full. Let me get you something. And he pours drinks in front of you. So, what do you got for me?
Well, not detectives anymore.
Uh,
We've got a hell of a story.
no, really, do tell. What story is this?
Missing body, cover up, placement with a replicant, mass conspiracy. Does it sound like something your paper's interested in?
Evidence?
Deliberately destroyed.
So, no evidence.
Vicious predator fire.
When have you ever been concerned about evidence?
That is the only thing that stops the lawyers at the door. So you may have a hell of a story, but without a shred of proof, all what you have is hearsay.
Well, I'm offering you the hearsay and the story because you have resources that we don't.
Not interested. Not going to do your legwork. You think what happened to you is an accident?
Oh, it's not an accident.
I'm right, it's not. This is bigger than you. And I'm not going to put my head on the chopping block just because you're pissed off and need a payday.
You're not even curious? How
No,
many other public figures have been?
the last curious people ended up instigating a lawsuit against the city. So no, thank you. I'll pass on your chalice.
You're lost. But thanks for the drink.
Detective, take care. As you said, this is bigger. Make a perception roll. Actually, sorry. Observation.
Oh, botch.
Christ almighty, woman.
That wasn't me.
Well, that was Michael.
Mine is refusing to roll. So let me just
You're
reopen.
rubbing off on Michael. You're rolling at disadvantage because you have a concussion.
Oh.
2 successes,
Bit.
though.
As you are exiting the Viper pit, you see somebody. And you have seen this guy before.
Guy who shot me before.
Do we still have our pistols, or did we hand those in already?
No, that's gone. You have to handle that as part of the end of your shift. You see this guy looking at both of you from the shadows of the room. And for a brief moment, he sort of makes eye contact with you. And he gives you a slight smile as he walks away.
Guy who shot us before.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
The ones that shot you before were some corporal wounds. You can.
I don't know. She's pissed off a lot of people.
Yep. But this one. Make an insight check and I'll tell you.
Now I roll well.
If you do remember this guy, back when you were investigating Leah's case, This is the same guy that gave you the indications that took you to Animoid Road.
He's gonna start investigating the next shuttle to Ganymede.
So, one last action before we wrap up. Pip and Marcus, what are you guys going to do?
Yeah, Pip's not gonna let it go. She's heading to Ganymede.
Okay. Marcus?
So does Pip tell Marcus about that person she just saw, or?
He hasn't mentioned anything so far.
All right. So what's your next move, Pip? It's move to Ganymede to investigate. Are we doing our own investigation now? Is that what's happening?
I'm not letting this go.
Okay. So investigating the freighter, is that what's happening? The mysterious fire on that freighter.
More like how the body ended up on Ganymede to start with. Go back to the source.
All right. Well, it's gonna be a good chunk of my retirement money, but I'll get a ticket and go with you if you don't mind.
Probably good to be off Earth for a while, Vaesen.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So, you guys exit the bar. And as you are walking down the street, you don't even hear it. It's just hear a faint whisper that, and you feel like a hammer will hit you in the center of your chest. And Marcus, you see Pete fall backwards. And in the split second between seeing her just lying in a nascent pool of blood, and blood starts seeping out from her mouth, you turn up from where the shot would have come from, and you see the muzzle flash again, and you feel like if a hammer would descend on the side of your skull, and everything goes black. The camera pans out and shows both of the bodies just lying in the alleyway, just bleeding out under the rain. And it refocuses on the figure. And you see the figure of a woman dressed in black with a large visor covering her eyes. Yep, it's done. She tried to talk the media. No, that's taken care of. Yes, sir. I'll see you in the morning. And that's where we're going to finish.
Damn, you died twice.
Hey.
But this time you really die.
Sorry, I'm dead.
Bad guys won.
Bad guys always.
Thank you. That was brilliant.
That was good,
And
Miguel. Thank you.
yeah, thank you, Michael and Adam, for joining us for this
Yeah.
one. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
Thank you for having us. Yes.
But you seem to have the proclivity of, let's go fucking nuclear.
I'm sad that I didn't get a chance for like a monologue after my death, just before my death. Yeah.
Yes. No, you guys talk too much. Thank you everybody for watching, and
Thank you.
yes, see you in the next misadventure from the universe of Blade Runner. So thank you, and bye.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us at Wandering Tales so we can keep providing content to keep you entertained. Bye.
Some ways to
Yeah.
die.
Yes, some ways to die.